Hi there, this is Father Rich Gill, back again for our Sunday preview. This weekend we celebrate All Saints' Day. It happens to fall on Sunday, so we'll be celebrating the feast instead of the regular Sunday of the year. And what they say about the saints is that every sinner has a future and every saint has a past. But sometimes it's not so clear cut. A lot of us are a little bit of a mixture of saint and sinner, even the great saints. And I think today's gospel, the beatitudes, gives us a set of ideals that we're supposed to aspire to. Let's listen to Jesus. Chapter 5 of St. Matthew's Gospel. Jesus saw the crowds and he went up the mountain. And after he had sat down, his disciples came to him. He began to teach them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the clean of heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you, and utter every kind of evil against you on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven." The Gospel of the Lord. The Beatitudes are the classic teaching of Jesus that takes us beyond the Ten Commandments. In a way, the Beatitudes are the perfection of the Ten Commandments. And they lay out for us what the real life of a saint would be like. But I think a lot of us can't imagine ourselves quite like that. But when we take a look at real saints, we see that they're often a complicated mix of their previous life when they weren't so holy and their saintly life, as we might call it. And they tell the story about St. Patrick, whom we all know as the great patron of Ireland and the one who chased the snakes out of Ireland, etc., converted all the Irish people. And a lot of us know that when he was a boy, he was a slave in Ireland. He was a slave to the Irish people. And he escaped and he left, and he grew up and God called him to the priesthood and he became a monk. And he had a real conversion, and he was living in the monastery, and he didn't really have a great love for the Irish people. And one day, the story goes that two mysterious men stopped him on the road, and they were Irish Fenians from one of the clans of the Irish pagans and heathens. And they confronted him, and they asked him what his name is, and he told them his Roman name in Latin. And they said, "Ah, shucks, no, this is Patrick. We know him," the slave boy. And he got very angry at them. And yet, something deep inside was telling him to listen to these two. And he took them back to the monastery. And even though he was very dismissive of them, because they wanted to tell him all the stories of the history of the Irish people, nonetheless, every night he would listen to them. And little by little, as they told him the stories of their glorious history according to them, and the hunts and the battles that they had had, he little by little grew in admiration for them and began to love the Irish people. And then he was ready to be a missionary. And I think the same dynamic goes on in all of us in a small way. Maybe we have a conversion. Maybe we're better than we were before. But God's not finished with us. We have to keep listening. Maybe even to mysterious voices. Maybe even to people we don't regard very highly, because they may have a message for us. A message that comes from God. And we can't really do what God wants on this earth until we hear that message and we take it and we begin to love it. What's that message for you? What's God trying to say to you? Maybe God needs to change you even more. You're not finished yet.